Tax filings for the Minneapolis nonprofit at the center of KARE 11's investigation into Medicaid billing irregularities shed new light and raise new questions.
Here's AJ Legault with the latest revelations from our investigation, Recovery, Inc.
That motion prevails. We are in closed session.
The Blaine, Minnesota City Council workshop is not where you normally go with questions about millions of dollars in Medicaid billing.
Mayor Sanders, AJ Legault, I'm from KARE 11 News. We've got questions for you about Refocus Recovery.
Statement.
But when the mayor is involved, and for months dodging questions, you go where the story takes you. Blaine Mayor and former longtime state legislator Tim Sanders was, until late January, listed as the president and executive director of the nonprofit Refocus Recovery. For months, KARE 11 has been investigating allegations of fraudulent Medicaid billing by Refocus and its for-profit partner, a company called Kairos.
I don't remember any of these actually happening.
Poring over billing records with clients, KARE 11 documented claims Kairos, through Refocus Recovery, billed taxpayers for addiction treatment services never provided.
Some of the events were just made up.
You're saying that didn't happen?
I'm saying that outright did not happen.
KARE's investigation also exposed the Kairos Refocus partnership billing for watching movies and for phone calls the law and state rules do not allow, while Kairos bragged to investors they project by the end of this year to make nearly $30 million in gross profit.
What did you know about the suspicious Medicaid billing, and when did you know it, sir?
Tax records for nonprofits are public, but there's a delay. Refocus Recovery's 2022 filings, which Sanders signed, just recently became available. They show nearly all the nonprofit's revenue ending up in the for-profit's coffers.
So I prosecuted all kinds of fraud, healthcare fraud, I prosecuted the mafia.
Doug Kelly is the former Minnesota head of the U.S. Attorney's white-collar crime section.
We asked you to take a look at some tax records for a nonprofit called Refocus Recovery. What jumped out at you?
As a former federal prosecutor, there were a number of red flags that jumped out to me.
He points to how Refocus Recovery funneled $4.5 million, more than 96% of its revenue, to subsidiaries of the for-profit Kairos.
If it turns out that the nonprofit is a mere shell corporation to get the money into a for-profit, that's a huge red flag.
Then there's the interlocking roles of Daniel Larson.
My name is Daniel Larson, and I'm the CEO and founder of Kairos.
Larson, the founder of Kairos, also founded Refocus Recovery. Although the tax filings say he didn't participate in the vote to hire Kairos, Larson was on the Refocus board at the same time virtually all the nonprofit's revenue went to his for-profit company.
That's another red flag.
For the Minnesota Department of Human Services, which oversees Medicaid, these red flags were waved before. Refocus Recovery was certified by ARCO, the Association of Recovery Community Organizations, a certification needed in order to bill Medicaid. In July 2022, ARCO, in this letter addressed to Tim Sanders, revoked Refocus Recovery's membership, citing concerns around business practices, undue influence on Refocus by Kairos, and concerns about autonomy of Refocus from Kairos. But when Mayor Sanders and Refocus appealed to DHS, Commissioner Jody Harpstead granted them certification to keep billing Medicaid millions of dollars without addressing any of the red flags.
When you have huge amounts of money going into the nonprofit and then going to a for-profit, that's a concern, and that's a red flag.
Daniel Larson and Kairos did not respond to questions about the Refocus tax records. Mayor Sanders, in response to a prior interview request, wrote in a statement, "On January 30th, 2024, I voluntarily left my role as the executive director of Refocus Recovery as other opportunities I have pursued require more attention." He's not responded to questions about the tax records he signed and allegations of fraudulent Medicaid billing on his watch, which is why we walked up to him at the city council meeting.
Why do you think as a public official you don't owe the public answers about all of the Medicaid billing that doesn't look right?
Kimberly Lowe, an attorney for Refocus Recovery, wrote in an email, "If any claims for reimbursement are found to have been made in error, any such funds received will be refunded to the payers. I appreciate this answer doesn't exactly give you what you want, given your style of reporting."
DHS can confirm the existence of an ongoing investigation regarding Kairos and Refocus Recovery.
In response to Carol Evans' reporting, both the DHS Inspector General and State Attorney General have opened investigations. These tax records now raise even further questions.
So there are a number of things as a former federal prosecutor that I would think would call for further intense investigation.
Further intense investigation.
Yes.
For Carol Levin Investigates, I'm AJ Legel.